Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger. So Ultra Instinct Goku, he's been out now for a few days. One of the most hyped, if not the most hyped DLC character in the history of the game, right? And the big question is, hey, does he live up to the hype? So that is exactly what I want to talk about in this video. So first up here, let's just talk, character-wise before we talk gameplay-wise. Character-wise, well, I think just standing still says the whole story, right? He very literally radiates power, right? Ultra Instinct, very big deal in the show, say the least. And I think this is a very faithful, if not the most faithful adaptation you're ever going to see of this character. Something like Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Legends, Dokkan Battle, whatever else, like, it's not going to match up to what you see here in Dragon Ball FighterZ. And a big part of it is not just the look, it's how effortlessly he makes everything go, right? Like stuff like his forward H. Like, look at that. Like, he just don't even care. And just, it's basically straight out of the anime. A lot of his weird oddball attacks, like the way he kind of fights in a very strange manner compared to how Goku traditionally has fought throughout all the years of the anime and the comic, right? I think it very faithfully matches that. And of course, animation-wise, like, yo, in a game with top-notch animations, like, look at this, like, that's ridiculous, right? In a game with top-notch animations, UI Goku easily hangs in with the rest, right? Because he's got tons of just savage and cool-looking stuff. Like, in the end, I don't think I gotta sell you on how good he looks as a character, right? I think we're all pretty happy with that. So now, hey, let's talk the gameplay aspect. That's kind of the big deal in the end. So, does he live up to the hype on the gameplay end? Well, first up here, before anything else, is he a strong character? Well, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to argue that point. The only question is, how strong of a character do you think he is, right? Do you think he's top 10, top 5? Hey, maybe you think he's top 1, maybe you think he's the best. I think we'll give a little time for that to shake out, but definitely, in my opinion, and I don't think it's too hard to argue, that he's certainly one of the better characters in the game right out of the gate. He's got so much going for him. He's got, really good assists no matter what you want to pick, especially the A assist I think is phenomenal, right? So gameplay-wise, I think no matter how you want to go about it, tier-wise, strength-wise, he's definitely one of the better characters in the game just from the get-go. Another thing I think that rings very strongly in his favor is just how unique he is. And I'm not even talking like in the context of Dragon Ball FighterZ. I'm just talking in the context of like fighting game history. He is one of the most unique characters in any fighting game ever. He's just got so much going for him. Like, hey, we have a projectile invincible hop, right? And that's already cool enough. And from this projectile invincible hop, guess plus on block a strike or guess command grab. Like, what? Like, in any game, that would be absolutely insane. Let alone the fact Dragon Ball being Dragon Ball, you can call people and assist and lock down and just keep hopping over their head, making them guess and all that crazy stuff, right? That's just patently ridiculous. Other things like the walk forward, right? Like, hey, I defeat all basic key blasts just by walking forward. Sort of like an automatically timed defensive move. Well, I'm not going to say that's unique fully in fighting games, because like there's other examples like Vanessa's defense stance in Virtual Fighter, automatically taking care of punches and all that, right? But especially in the context of a 2D game, yeah, that's something. And so many strong offensive options in this game, especially from full screen, are basic key blasts. And he gets to say, no, I don't got to play that game. And, some poor folks like Beerus, who don't really got any other options, they just got to sit there and they got to like it. Other things like the 4H, 6H, right? This is just crazy, like, especially what it offers as a move in a fighting game. Gives so many possibilities, and, like, it's so tricky and new what I could do. Like, it confused the crap out of me. I'll show you an example here. So, in the video previous to this one here, I made a boo-boo because I had no idea. I just went by, basic fighting game knowledge and how things should be. So, hey, I went past here. I'm negative 38, right? I should definitely be punishable because negative 38 is a hell of a number to be negative by, right? And no! Turns out 6H is such a crazy move, it doesn't work that way. It turns out for this move, no matter how negative you are, you could be in your negative 30s, as we showed, you can be negative 100, it doesn't matter. He's full invincible till the frame he recovers, and thus he can never actually be punished, which is kind of ridiculous. As you can see right there, that Piccolo Punch just went right through him, right? He always gets the opportunity to block or invincible reversal or reflect or whatever, no matter how negative he is, because he's invincible all the way until he just gets to do another action, right? So yeah, that's crazy, and there's not really moves like that traditionally in fighting games. So yeah, my bad on the previous video. That definitely threw me for a loop, right? And there's still even more confusing aspects of this move because it doesn't play by a lot of the rules. Like this stance, can it beat throws? Well, no, it can't beat throws, but yes, it also can in some weird situations. So say if you're in a situation where you go for, jab into Dragon Rush, right? If you're not immediately thrown, it still detects the hitbox of the throw and then can actually get around it, despite the fact normally it can't go around throws. Like for Broly, I have a tick grab setup. If I do it properly, you get grabbed, right? However, if I screwed up and do it a little too quick, then you get to go through it. What an odd move, right? I don't know why it works this way, especially with throws, but hey, it does work this way. So once again, this character's full of mechanics that are just off the wall. Like, this guy's such an oddball nut, he's brought back old, forgotten tech that was sort of patched out in a way, right? In this game, if you get a clean hit on the enemy, you can jump cancel the hit, right? That's just generally how it goes. And if they block, hey, you don't get the jump cancel. Like, I'm holding up here, I only get to jump after it's all recovered after the block. There was some old tech back in the day, back when we had a lot of restand stuff, before that all got patched out, where we could force someone to take a multi-hitting move, hit the first hit attack, the second hit they're able to block, and it would still keep the jump cancel property. And he can put this in by himself, he doesn't even need assists. Like, he has EX flip move here, this causes a restand, so the enemy is not juggled, they're on the ground and they keep grounded for all this kind of stuff. And now you can do something like this. So, the second hit of my stand M, yeah, he could block it, right? However, that said, and he could block it because the hits on the K went so high he was allowed to block. But that said, I was still allowed to jump cancel it, so I could go like instant air dash over his head and crank him on the other side, or a million other gimmicks and gigas, right? So the reset potential is very big, and there's definitely going to be some stuff to play around with that in mind. Once again, this existed like for a short amount of time back in Season 1 of Dragon Ball FighterZ, and once all the restand stuff was kind of patched out back then, this basically all went away, and now he's bringing it back. Does this character have any downsides? Well, yeah, it's not all upsides. It's not all sunshine, right? Like, stand jab, crouch jab, there's 7-frame startup here, so that's basically he's in the big boy club. Like, generally, characters like Broly, 16, like, these are the 7-frame startup characters, right? So he doesn't have a very fast light, and in situations like, after your universal overhead, you're 0 on block, but that means someone with a 6-framer is always going to win out over you. So say against Jiren here, I can be neutral on block all I want, right? But I can jam as hard on L until my wrists explode, and I'm never ever going to beat him because, hey, 6 frames is faster than 7 frames. That's all there is to it. And, some of the frame data on some other normal stuff like, well, hey, stand light itself, right? -9. That's not amazing. Some of his buttons here don't got the fastest startups, and they don't got some of the biggest range, like, Cooler or Broly, he certainly is not. He doesn't have the big boy buttons, even though he has some of the big boy frame data, but he doesn't get the benefit of having huge normals. But in the end, does that outweigh, a lot of the crazy advantages he has? I don't think so. So, in the end, just rambling a bit, I guess, but yeah, in the end, does he live up to the hype overall as a complete package? Is he worth your money as a DLC character? Yes, absolutely. He's out of the gate one of the better characters in the game, in my opinion, and time will tell. Maybe he might just be the best. Who knows? I don't know, right? We'll see how that goes and how people play around, but certainly he's already shaking up the game in a way that, like, say, Kefla or Dragon Ball Super Broly, last 2 DLC characters, they didn't quite do the same, right? They didn't quite have the immediate impact this guy did. The only guy who had such an immediate impact right away, comparable to UI Goku, is, well, GT Goku, and we all know how that one turned out, right? So we will see where UI Goku leads us in the future, but man, overall, does he live up to the hype? 100% absolutely. Anyways, my friends, that's my opinion on the matter, and that is it for this video. So hey, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. Go out and play some Dragon Ball.